Welcome back to Radarrender. You are wondering what are the best render farms for Octane Render in 2021? Let's find it out. We tested dozens of render farm out there and finally, 3 big names including iRender, Ranch Computing, and Rebusfarm deserve to sit on top render farms for Octane Render. First come with iRender farm. Multi-GPU rendering is the strong point of iRender, especially for GPU-based renderers such as Octane. They offer various rental packages ranging from 1, 2, 4 RTX 3090-3080, and even servers with 6 monster RTX 3090s and high clock speed CPU. As you can see, the first step is to create the image and then boot this image to connect with their powerful remote server. It usually takes from 5 to 10 minutes to finish the booting process. After waiting a few minutes to boot successfully, we could get access to the remote server. And here you can see the remote server is no different than the local computer. We will take full control of the server, and we could check the specs of the server easily. Downloading and uploading files to and from the server is also done quickly and easily via their two-way sync tool named PuHubSync. We could also upload the files before connecting to their server to save time and cost. After uploading the files, we then manually install Cinema 4D and Octane Render on this remote server, the same as installing on our local computer. Fortunately, only need to install one time, then the working environment will be saved for next usage. As you might know, the whole concept here is to allow users to connect, take full and flexible control over their powerful physical server online via remote desktop connection, using 100% performance of the selected server, not share it with anyone to speed up render time. We could control and manage the rendering process directly and flexibly, checking the GPU performance, customizing the scene files directly. Having this highly customized feature, iRender is suitable for jobs with large size, complex pipelines and tight deadlines. Users could also switch between their powerful servers at any time without reinstalling the software or re-uploading the files. Because we only need to install the software one time, so we exclude the installing software time on this test. And the actual rendering time takes 15.6 minutes and costs only $2.8. This render farm ranks number 1 and becoming the cheapest render farm. 6 times cheaper than Rebusfarm and 5 times cheaper compared to Ranch Computing. However, iRender holds the 3rd place in rendering time. That's quite reasonable, because in this test, we use only one node. If we use 2 or 3 or more nodes, so that the render time could be down to 2 or 3 times or more accordingly. After the rendering is finished, we check the output and then copy the rendered files to Z drive. The file will be synchronized to PuHubSync app on the local computer. Finally, we turn off the server and the system will stop charging from this time. Next is Ranch Computing. Rendering management is also on the web. The first step is to download the free online tool RenChecker and integrate it into 3D software to prepare and check the scene carefully for smooth rendering after that. This plugin will gather all assets used by your scene, verify the rendering parameters, change file paths if necessary, and warn you in case of possible issues. Ranch provides both CPU and GPU-based rendering. The GPU type is a quite outdated GTX 1080 Ti. But don't worry too much, users could leverage the huge number of render nodes to speed up the render time. Users will need to choose the type of software, rendering engine, and then choose the rendering priority. Next is to upload the file to their farm. In this test, we choose the highest priority. Then the system will validate the files and automatically submit them to the rendering queue. Our job started rendering in a minute after submitting the project, and the result does not disappoint us at all. The render time of this render farm is the shortest. After finishing rendering, downloading frames from a web base or by a secure and fast FTP account is also a strength of this render farm. Rendering on ranch computing only takes 2.98 minutes, which makes this render farm the fastest one, approximately 5 times faster than iRender and 3 times faster than Rebusfarm. However, the rendering expense is such a pain when this render farm holds the second place in terms of the most expensive render farms, just less expensive than Rebusfarm. The cost is $13.67, which is 5 times more expensive than that of iRender. Finally is Rebusfarm. This render farm supports major 3D software applications and render plugins. First step is to download the advanced Rebusfarm 3.0 software for C4D. This add-on allows a cloud rendering directly from your 3D application, while upload and download can be managed by Rebusdrop. Here we could see that the Rebus is app integrated directly into the 3D software, and we can easily send the project to the farm. GPU rendering is the strong point of this render farm. Their GPU is the powerful Quadro RTX 6000, which has 48 GB of RAM on board. This will perform better in memory-hungry professional workloads. However, a huge drawback of this render farm is related to the price, priority, and queue, which means the higher the priority is, the faster your project will be rendered, and the more expensive price you have to pay. Here, because we choose highest priority, so after uploading the file, it was rendered almost immediately. With powerful hardware configuration, unsurprisingly this render farm has quite short render time. Render time is 6.49 minutes. However, the rendering cost is the most expensive out of 5, which is 14.43 Rp, equal to $17. Being the most expensive, but not the fastest, Rebusfarm is not the best render farm for Octane, but still in the top if you need a fast render solution. In conclusion, the render cost on iRender is the cheapest, 5 times cheaper than ranch computing. Meanwhile, the render time on ranch computing is the shortest, 5 times shorter than iRender. Therefore, if you have a straightforward project and a decent budget, ranch is suitable for you. On the other hand, iRender should be your choice when your project is larger, complicated, or needs much customization or adjustment. The render time on iRender could be much faster than the test above if users could take advantage of multiple nodes simultaneously rather than using only one node, as in our test. Let's take a quick look at our test results summary here. That's the end of our testing today. Hope you enjoy it. See you in the next video.